Release the Kraken.
So now we've got Leah Hobbs. She is another witness at one of the polling stations again. This one's nice and short as well, so we'll hear her give her little statement. She doesn't really say too much in this one, a bit quiet, and just kind of talks about the susness of how they moved the polling station to a location that's easy to access, if you wanted to sneak in. She said she didn't see anything going on there, but says that it's very strange that they just spent $2.1 million moving the facility to a less secure location. So a bit strange there, but she didn't actually witness anything herself of anything actually happening at that new facility. So let's hear her testimony now.
First and foremost, my name is Leah Hoops. I'm from Delaware County, Pennsylvania. I was a poll watcher on the day of election, and I was also present at the counting center in Chester, Pennsylvania. So first and foremost, thank you to this committee and all those involved, and especially Senator Mastriano and former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. To our fearless and brave president, thank you for being our shield and putting us first, and I am forever grateful. It is an absolute honor to be a part of this hearing and to finally have an opportunity to speak about what took place in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. I feel as an American that it is my duty to help protect the integrity of our elections, not just for me, but for every American. There are many who have lost life and limb for my right to vote. I want to give a brief introduction and history of how I got involved in this election. 4 years ago, Donald Trump came down an escalator, and I knew that he was here to take back our country. I was born and raised in Delaware County in a conservative home. I was taught from an early age to love thy neighbor, defend your country, and by all means, always speak the truth.
Okay, she's got a clear bias here, very clear bias.
I took those values throughout my life and applied them in every avenue possible, which brings me up to the present. And about 18 months ago, I became a volunteer and assisted with a campaign for a magisterial judge. In that process, I was approached by my current chairman and became an appointed committeewoman for the Bethel Township Republican Party. In conjunction with my committee position, I also started volunteering for the Trump campaign, registering voters, and assisting with events. During this time, I started a watchdog group and reached out to the Thomas More Society. Now, associates, we've been focusing our efforts in election integrity. Our greatest efforts have been in following closely the newly elected and completely Democrat-run Delaware County Council and the Democrat Majority Election Board. This also includes any and all contractors, support staff, and any key players involved. What we found was actually concerning. Not only was private grant money used from the Center for Tech and Life owned by Google and Mark Zuckerberg, but pop-up voter sites were also approved. These pop-up voter sites were placed in heavily Democrat cities, including Chester and Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, in which case the grant money from the CTCL was used to pay for electioneering. It was literally...
Okay, wow. So she's saying right there that, these tech companies, aka the Zuck, has now purchased votes because they're putting the locations of the voting in very strategic places, democratically high percentage, which means you're going to get the Democratic vote. Okay, so they're trying to hedge their bets by putting it in strategic locations. That's very fucking sus. I wonder if there is an actual paper trail back to the Zuck or back to Google or Alphabet. That would be quite interesting. If there is, I very much hope that these senators that are listening right now are digging into that, because that would be quite something to see.
A one-stop shop. Walk in, apply, get your ballot, submit, and you are out the door. But where this didn't take place was in heavily Republican and independent areas. Let's also make note that the voting machine warehouse supervisor is a Bernie Sanders delegate, who is also solely responsible for every scanner, machine, V-card, and all machines with absolutely zero experience in this area. So the real story is the $2.1 million spent to move the counting center from the courthouse in Media, Pennsylvania, which has been something that has been done for decades, to the wharf in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let me explain to you the layout of the counting center. It is in the middle of a huge park.
Okay, decades, yeah. That's quite a long time to be in one location. I'd be interested to hear what the official reason is for them wanting to move it just before the election as well. That it raises some flags, but I mean, there's nothing jumping out to me as that's a fully negative thing. I mean, it sounds pretty normal, to be honest, but you know, who knows? Who knows?
Parking lot, which sits back on Seaport Drive next to loading docks. It has multi-million-dollar connections to the company Power HRG and Subaru Park Soccer Stadium. The counting center was on the first floor, in which there were multiple places to bring in ballots in and out of, elevators and many rooms in which workers had access. I was there for 3 straight days. What became of concern was the back room, which had no observers, no line of sight or transparency into the process. There was no cooperation, complete resistance from election night and every day after. It took until our lawyer got an injunction to get into that back room in which pre-canvassing was transpiring. Even with an injunction, which was a joke, we were granted 5 minutes every 2 hours, and the setup was sitting in a chair 20 feet from any physical ballot. I truly wish I had enough time today to...
Why, when you're sitting so far away, are you not saying that you can't count the votes? That's the whole point of the job. If you can't count the votes from 20 feet away, then you say that, and then that's what happens, right? The vote gets not counted because you can't verify it. What's the process for these guys, these pollsters? Like, what's their process? If they can't verify something, how are these votes getting through as verified? What's the process? I need someone to come on and explain to me the process, because this doesn't make any sense. This is 4 people now saying that they've been standing at least 20 feet away and they're unable to see what the markings are on the ballot. So that's 4 people in a row saying that they were unable to verify, and yet it still got verified. What is the process for these guys saying, nope, can't verify it, that vote's not counted? Like, what's the fucking process? Comments down below, let me know.
to recreate what I witnessed and felt during those moments, but we did not gather here today just for me and my experience, but rather a collection of experiences from Americans like myself. What I hope to achieve is for the public to understand is that we have stuck our necks out, have been intimidated, threatened, bullied, have spent countless hours away from our families, friends, and jobs. We have signed...
Yeah, it sounds like she's speaking on the behalf of others, not herself. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what her point is in that one. Unless she's been physically abused herself, she should not be saying that. But she didn't say that. She didn't say that she'd been abused. She said people like her had been abused. So, yeah, I don't know why she's referencing that. That doesn't make too much sense.
Signed affidavits under penalty of perjury, which should be...
Perjury is not stone. Okay, perjury can be broken, and you can face no crime. There's no penalty for breaking perjury. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. There's ways to get out of it.
Be consideration enough to know that this is a very serious issue. I'm here for one thing only, and that is to speak the truth. This is not about party. This is about my country. Every American deserves transparency, truth, and be able to question those in power without fear of intimidation, bullying, or backlash. I hope this committee takes action if needed, and justice will be swift to anyone involved in fraudulent activity. The Republic is angry, disgruntled, tired, beaten.
Again, speaking on behalf of an imaginary person, so
up and ready.
You can't really use that. You can't really take that emotion on. She's gone for your emotion side right now, as opposed to your fact, reason-based thinking.
To defend this country.
No, don't clap, guys. Don't clap. She's gone after your emotions. She's gone after your emotions. Don't indulge that.
Thank you. Without election integrity, we are just another banana republic. I thank you again for your time, efforts, and service, and it is an honor to be here and to be part of a historical moment. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a couple of interesting things there. Mainly the donations and location picking by Google and Facebook. Very fucking interesting. Very, very keen to see if there is a paper trail that leads back to anyone in particular. And, that would be very interesting to find out. Everything else she said, though, nothing she brought up was too bad. I mean, moving the location, I mean, that's not, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. She didn't say that she saw anything at the new location. Okay, if they'd moved the location and this back room that she was talking about, she had seen the ballots or something getting, a strange number of ballots or something like that, then holy fuck, there's something going on there. But she didn't say anything like that. She didn't say she saw anything there. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of good news, I guess. That means that at least that location wasn't rigged like the rest of them were. I don't know if rigged is the right word, but you get what I mean. Alrighty, another one down. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. You all know what to do. Alright, see you in the next one.